Oh, hello, and welcome back to Giselle Eats. Happy Monday evening, everyone. Happy Monday evening. Tonight, I have a one pot pasta dish, perfect for a Monday. Everyone is tired, exhausted with work and taking care of the children and doing house chores and busy in your relationships. So a one pot pasta, and we're going to cut up some onions, we're going to cut up some bell peppers, we have some Italian parsley, we also have 2 heads of garlic that we're going to get prep before we start browning our ground chuck. This is a easy recipe. One pot. I'm gonna say it'll take about 30 minutes. 30 minutes to prepare this dish. Perfect for a Monday. So let's get started. Now, you can use any type of veggie you have on hand. You don't have to I'm using a sweet onion. You can use a white onion if you have a white onion. If you have a yellow onion, you can use a yellow onion. I'm trying to use and get rid of things that I have in the refrigerator, in the pantry. Even when it comes down to the noodles, use your favorite noodles. I have 2 boxes of lasagna noodles. And yes, I can keep those for something else, but why purchase a box of noodles when I can just use lasagna noodles? So I'll be using lasagna noodles tonight, and I'm going to use this sweet onion and 1 bell pepper that I had left over. Now, I am going to add cheese to this dish. Do you remember the cheese I added to the corn? The corn when we made the Alfredo street corn. I am going to use the remaining bag of that cheese to make everything so creamy, nice, saucy, velvety. We will be using some wine today. You do not have to use wine. You can use chicken stock or you can use water, but I am currently sipping on some Chardonnay, so I will be using this Chardonnay to brown the beef, get up any kind of bits from the bottom of the pan during the caramelization of the mushrooms and the veggies. We're going to use probably a full pint of heavy cream. Yes, I have heavy cream today. I actually bought the heavy cream because I'm out of canned milk. So we need to do a massive grocery haul. And also, I would like to incorporate an unboxing here soon. So let me know in the comment section if you're interested in an unboxing of some things that I have purchased and that someone who has supported the channel has done. And almost like a buy me a coffee, but it's still buy me a coffee, but it's not going to be coffee. It's actually going to be things that someone has helped support the channel with. So definitely let me know down in the comment section if you're interested in seeing the things that I've gotten for the unboxing. I think that'll be a very nice video for the channel. Now, when it comes to your garlic, you do not have to use the amount of garlic that I'm using. I am going to use 2 heads because I do want to make some garlic bread with some of this chopped garlic. And let me know if you're a garlic snob. Do you prefer fresh garlic? Do you just use the ground garlic that come in the container? Or do you like fresh garlic, or the garlic or the garlic in the jar? Let me know, which one do you prefer? Which one do you use the most? When it comes to flavor, which one do you mostly lean towards? I do feel as though that fresh garlic has a more spicy, peppery type of finish, and I feel like it's best in pasta dishes and when you're seasoning your meats, but that's just my opinion. Jar garlic is good. There's nothing wrong with jar garlic. The jar garlic from Costco's or the small mini ones that you get out of the produce section at Harris Teeter or Food Lion, but fresh garlic just has to be used for certain things like marinating stuff, making green seasoning, making some of your salad dressings. Fresh garlic just does something a little bit different than what a jar garlic would do. I don't know if y'all have noticed, but I low-key have an obsession with flat leaf Italian parsley. I like regular parsley. I do. I use it in the green seasoning. I use it for other things, but it's something about the Italian parsley that just, the flavor is a little bit different. So when I get an opportunity to add that in, I always go for Italian parsley, and I like a lot of it. We will be using it in our pasta dish, and we will be using it for, I decided I had a tomato that was getting ready to go to the bad, so I separated some of the onions that we chopped. I used some of this flat leaf Italian parsley, and what else did I add? No, not garlic. So tomatoes, flat leaf parsley, and onions. So it's almost like a fake pesto, a fake tomato pesto type of something you can take with the crusty bread and like dip it and scoop it. I was using it as a fresh point in this meal because I didn't have a salad. But make sure you comment, like, and subscribe to the channel. And let's get started on sauteing these mushrooms. So what I have here is probably 2 tablespoons of bacon grease. Yes, I save my bacon grease because it comes in handy when it's time to saute different things. A lot of people don't like mushrooms. This is optional, but we like mushrooms over here, so I'm going to use them. I have a full pint of portobello and a full pint of shiitake mushrooms. So we're going to get those sauteed. We will start building the flavors now. Basic flavors, but we're going to do salt and pepper, maybe a teaspoon of both to start, and then we'll taste. If you are a mushroom lover, you know how it goes. They're like sponges. So eventually we'll have to add more oil to them. I wouldn't add any more bacon grease. I would probably use an olive oil, a good quality olive oil. And I will add that in due time. But season them with what you like. I do have a lot of garlic, so I'm gonna skip out on a lot of extra seasonings because it's just not needed. This dish is gonna be so robust on its own. All the extra stuff is just gonna be kind of pointless. It's almost kind of like a homemade hamburger helper, but elevated to the next level. You know, some of these items you don't have to add. I would say add what you like, but this is almost kind of like a luxury hamburger helper. It's kind of gonna taste like that. I feel like it's the perfect recipe, the perfect dish for Monday. So we're not going to saute them all the way because we're going to basically add in our peppers and our onions. Do not add the garlic in yet. You want to sweat these out and get these nice and caramelized before you add the garlic. The garlic can burn really quickly, and you do not want to eat burnt garlic. You want to sweat this out first. I am cooking this on a medium high because we are shucking and jiving. It's Monday. It's time to have another glass of wine. It's time to catch up on any of your favorite YouTubers, or watch, that show, or watch Dateline, or just go to bed. Eat and go to bed. I totally understand. Just making sure we season everything, making sure everything gets well seasoned. We're going to season with some salt and pepper. Now, with this, you want to keep sweating it out before you add the garlic in. After we cook it down a little bit more, once we add the garlic, we're going to remove it before we start to brown our ground beef. But we got a little minute before that because it needs to sweat out a little bit more. Now, when I add the garlic in, I'm going to make sure I leave enough for us to be able to make some garlic toast with. I think garlic toast will go perfect for this. You do not have to do this method of getting garlic toast. You can buy some garlic toast if you know this is what you're going to cook. But I already had some bread left over for some crostinis that I've made. And I said I need to get rid of the bread, so let me make my own garlic bread to get rid of the bread so it won't go spoiled. Now, if you really want to get rid of your spoiled bread, I would definitely say make a bread pudding. But are y'all ready for me to introduce y'all to bread pudding? Is it something that y'all will be interested in? Is my bread pudding recipe? Let me know in the comment section if that will be something that, okay, G, we want to see you make a little bread pudding. We need a little bit more dessert action from you. We can do it. Now, let's get these mushrooms, onions, and peppers transferred to a bowl. You want to make sure you get everything out of the bowl because we're going to keep going. One pot. We're not messing up a whole bunch of dishes tonight. This is going to be one pot. We're going to get all of this out before we start to brown our ground beef. The pan is going to be nice and hot. The seasonings for the ground beef tonight will be very simple. I will always say use what you like, but we'll be using Italian seasoning, probably a full tablespoon and a half of beef bouillon. We'll probably be using a full tablespoon about a full tablespoon of onion powder, and we'll probably sprinkle a little bit more black pepper on the ground beef. But let's get this removed. We're gonna re-oil our pan to get the beef in. Now, with us re-oiling the pan, you know the beef is going to create its own oil and grease. So what we'll do is we'll have to drain it. Once we get it cooked down very well, we'll have to drain the oil and grease off of it, because this dish is already going to be rich in flavors, and you do not want all that excess grease floating. So we'll brown it in some olive oil, and once it's done cooking, we'll drain the excess grease off. It's Monday. I am not taking y'all through all of the steps. I appreciate y'all being here with me every Monday and us hanging out and us cooking together. Maybe we'll have to do like a Q&A. Y'all can send in questions or ideas or something to make this, even, funner, or maybe possibly we can turn into lives on Monday instead of just being pre-recorded. But just communicate, send me some stuff. A lot of you follow me on Snapchat. My email address is posted. If you don't have my TikTok, it's Giselle with 3 E's. And just communicate what you want to see, what you want to do, what you would like to incorporate on Mondays. Now, to make sure that you're really rocking and rolling, you cover it. You want to cover it maybe every 15 minutes. Give it a good stir and keep on going. You don't want to spend a whole lot of unnecessary time. So really insulate your heat. Cover the ground beef. It'll be fine. Cover it. Get it good and browned. Once the ground beef has browned enough, if you feel like you want to add more flavors, so go ahead, taste it. Once it's not at red, some people are funny about eating raw meat, and I wouldn't eat this. So I would say cook this down a little bit more. before you taste and see if you need more seasoning. But cover it every 15 minutes and check on it. It's doing really, really good. Now, once we remove the ground beef, we want to make sure we get all of the oil. We're going to add back in our onions, peppers, and mushrooms, and combine our meat that we have drained all of the oil off of. We're going to give it a really good mix to make sure everything is combined. We have our eye on a medium high, because after we get it mixed, this is when, if you have chicken broth, you can use chicken broth if you want. It's nothing wrong with it. It won't hurt. Or you can use beef broth. Today, I am sipping on Chardonnay. Now, that don't mean that you add your Sutter Homes Chardonnay to this dish, because we want good flavors. Use a Chardonnay that is drinkable. Not saying Sutter Homes, or I'll list some brands. What not to use. Use a good Chardonnay, or you can use you don't have to use Chardonnay. You can use a Sauvignon Blanc, but make sure it's good, something drinkable, something with very good notes, because it's gonna complement the dish. Y'all already know the rules to adding alcohol to your dishes. Is the alcohol gonna stay? Of course, it's gonna linger a little bit, but not like really high. Like, it's not like, oh, we're making drunken one pot pasta. You're gonna cook the alcohol off for y'all complainers. If you're worried about your children eating this dish, well, don't feed little Tony or little Zendelia this. Don't feed them this. Go pick them up something else. Or if you want their asses to go to bed, they'll be just fine. They'll be just fine. You know, I don't have kids, so, you know, I know y'all very sensitive about them. But seeing the way that y'all take care of them and how they act, they'll be just fine with this wine. So let's go ahead and add in our heavy cream. Now, I'm going to add this cream in slowly. I will end up using this entire, this is a quart. I would say this entire quart of heavy cream. Yes, this is a very large pasta because I have 2 pounds of ground beef. Now, if you have 1 pound, I would not use all of this liquid. I would say cut everything that I've done in half. So I use probably a full cup and a quarter of wine and a whole quart of heavy whipping cream. So you would cut yours in half. I'm not doing that math for you. You figure that out on your own. Cut it in half and you'll be just fine, because the type of noodles that I'm using, I'm not going to pre-boil my noodles. I'm going to add enough liquid to this that I can stew my noodles inside of this sauce and it'll be just fine. I do recommend that you add a fresh element, either basil or Italian parsley or something fresh, because it's going to give it that elevation and the brightness that you need. This is a very, very good, delicious dish. Okay, we're going to give this a final mix We're going to add in 3 to 4 bay leaves. Make sure you rinse them bay leaves off because they have sand on them sometimes. But one final mix, and we're going to get this covered for about 15 to 20 minutes before we add the pasta in. Cover this for about 20 minutes. Once you remove the lid, this is what you'll have. If you're using lasagna noodles, use any pasta that you like. I wouldn't buy no more pasta. I was using what I have on hand. This is absolutely gorgeous. This is absolutely delicious. This will last you at least until Wednesday. If you're making this size, this should last you until Wednesday, depending on your portion size or how many people you have in your home. Y'all have to remember, when I'm cooking, I tend to make extremely large portions of food because I like for it to last for a couple of days. Nobody's cooking every day, so let's start on our garlic bread. We have 2 tablespoons of butter, 2 tablespoons of garlic, and however much parsley you like. I'm gonna use a lot of parsley because I think it makes the bread look pretty. And then we're gonna put it under the broiler. Once this is bubbling and the noodles are completely done, do not add this cheese until your noodles are completely done. Because if your cheese gets stuck to some undone noodles, blame yourself. Blame yourself. Don't add that cheese until you know that them noodles is done. I'm not playing with you. I am not playing with you. And this better not stick, because y'all should know better now. How many episodes are we in of cooking together? Almost 20. If your food is still sticking, that's your ass. Okay. We're gonna finish this off. We're gonna add a little bit more cheese. For the cheese lover, we're gonna add a little bit more cheese. Now, did I complete this whole bag? No. But there was probably a 1/4 cup of cheese left. I probably should have used it, but I didn't want it too cheesy. So if you have a 1/4 cup left of cheese, go ahead and use it. So look at that. Let's get this plated up and let's get ready for dinner. It's been a long day. It's been a blessed day. So we're gonna put this into a very large bowl. We're gonna make sure it looks really nice and look really pretty, just in case if you're having company and you're sharing your dinner tonight. Serve it in a nice bowl, and we're gonna get it to the table, baby, and we're gonna eat. I am definitely not fixing y'all no plate tonight, so don't even look for it. I ain't fixing you no plate. We're gonna set our nice bowl out. We're gonna grab a nice little platter for our garlic bread and the little tomato, basil, onion, little pesto little side that we made. Y'all can have at it. Here's your dinner. Here is your dinner. Your beautiful garlic toast. I mixed up some little pesto on the side, and that's it. And your beautiful, beautiful pasta. Creamy, beefy, and delicious. I'll see y'all next week. Bye.